William was on the plane when he predicted his flight was going to crash in an hour. He began to look for clues on his own. He observed that two of them were using mobile phones. The interference of communication devices can also cause problems for the plane, so he persuaded them to switch off their phones. The other man thought that since they were already in flight mode, he didn't need to switch it off. Their argument eventually drew the attention of the flight attendant. The flight attendant told William to go back to his seat and let them take care of the rest. William could only return to his seat. He continued to listen to the MP3. It continues. According to the official passenger list, in the front of the plane, in the first row, there was a witness from Russia, a witness named Jack. He's traveling on this flight to Moscow to testify against the Russian mafia. So, we can't rule out that the mafia violently attacked Flight 1015 to prevent Jack from testifying. In addition to that, there was a U.S. air marshal on the passenger list. On the passenger list, whether or not he was there to protect Jack, we don't know yet. When he heard this, William immediately asked the flight attendant to find out where the air marshal was located, but the flight attendant said she doesn't know any information about the passengers, and even if she did, she wouldn't disclose it. William did not find out the location of the air marshal. As the time of the prophecy approached, he had to do something. This time he had to go after the witnesses. He went to the first row of seats and watched them sleep. He snuck into their suitcases, but when he opened it, it fell on the passengers. The two elder brothers were also woken up. He said he was not Jack. He was just a footballer going to Moscow, and the flight attendants who arrived at that moment had lost patience with him. William was still insisting that they were talking. He identified one of them as a Jack, and he told everyone out loud. He was pointing to the mafia as a witness. The mafia is out to kill people. They're going to come after this plane. After the wall, a man came out from the crowd. It turns out he's the real Jack. It wasn't long before things started to get out of hand. Eventually, the captain of the plane himself warned him. They told William that if he ever spoke of terror again, he'd go to jail. William was warned, had to return to his seat, and continued to listen to his prophecy MP3, and then the MP3 played the audio of himself, the audio of his argument with the footballer. The dialogue was exactly the same as what he had just said, which made his head explode a little bit. The MP3 continued to play, and it said, at the end, when the captain said "Good night, New York," he was about to disappear from the radar. He thought it was no coincidence. He went back to the captain. The captain listened to William's speech in disbelief. He didn't give it a second thought. There was nothing William could do but to beg the captain not to say goodnight to New York. Not to say goodnight, New York. Everyone was so confused. They thought this guy must have some kind of mental problem. And that's when an air marshal arrested William and tied him to his seat and made him fly like a good boy.